Hello and welcome to the Oral Health Podcast. In connection with National Smile Month, we're here bringing you bite-sized discussions from different people in dentistry and oral health on a variety of topics. So today we're focusing on sugar. We're still going to talk about sugar in a bit of detail, focusing on free sugars and explaining exactly what free sugars are. And so I've got Karen here from the Oral Health Foundation. She's one of our dental health advisors and works on the dental helpline. So let's get straight in. Karen, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Sophie. Are you?
Yeah, fantastic. It's a sunny day, which is not often, I don't get to say that very often now. So always very nice when I can. The term free sugar, it's one that's relatively new to me. And up until recently, I had never heard of the term free sugar. So what can you tell us about free sugars?
Well, free sugar is, it used to be called added sugar. So sugar that is put into something that it didn't already have. So a free sugar is something that is in like biscuits and sweets and, flavoured yogurt, cereal bars. So the things that we use every day that we may not be aware has got extra sugar in it. So the term free sugar doesn't mean it's free. It means that it's been put into the product, so it's sort of free from the product. So it doesn't mean it hasn't got any sugar in. It means the sugar has been put in.
Right. Okay. So basically, free sugar and sugar free couldn't be more opposite. They are completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. Sugar-free means that there is no sugar actually added to the product during the manufacturing process. It doesn't mean it hasn't got any sugar in it. It just means that all the sugars that are found in that product are naturally occurring.
Right. Okay. So say something like a pressed apple juice or something that is quote unquote sugar free because no sugar has been added to that apple juice, but it is packed with sugar because apples are very sugary.
Yes. Absolutely. So whilst whilst we need to be aware of the free sugars that are in the products, we also have to be aware of things that are still high in sugar but haven't had any sugar added to them.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, get your fruits, your apples, your oranges, things like that.
Yes, absolutely.
How much free sugar and added sugar? How much added sugar do you think people really should be having day to day?
Well, the recommended amount is for adults is no more than 30 grams. Now, 30 grams, is very difficult for us to imagine. So that's about 7 teaspoons of sugar. So you have to look at the things that you're having, and it's accumulative. So if you're having a cup of tea or coffee and you put in a couple of sugars in it, that's only sort of 3 cups of sugar, 3 cups of tea or coffee a day. So that's without taking into consideration any of the foods and snacks and other drinks that you might be having. So it's not a lot of free sugar. Now, we can have things like milk, fruit, vegetables, because they don't count as free sugar. So you can have whatever you like of that, but it's the time that you have it with regards to oral health. Mm-hmm. So anything like that as part of a mealtime to help to protect our teeth. So that was 30 grams for an adult. So for a child between 4 and 6, no more than 19 grams. So that's around 5 teaspoons of sugar. So you have to take into consideration, our cereal bars, flavoured yogurts, things like that they're having, squashes, biscuits, that kind of thing. So all of that is adding up during the day, so you shouldn't go over that. There isn't specifically a guideline limit for children under 4, but again, all the rules apply. Avoid things that we know have got the free sugars in. So try and stick to natural products with no added sugar. Obviously vegetables in between meals is great, obviously age appropriate, but there isn't a specific guideline, but avoid if possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just avoid it where you can, but if you're going to have it, like we've said before, it's best at meal times to have it at meal times. And it's not just about where it's not just about the sugar you eat, it's about when in the day you're having it, which is
it's the frequency. So if you're having it as part of a meal, that gives the saliva time to neutralize the plaque acids that we've talked about before, that are formed when we eat or drink anything, and that's what causes dental decay. It gives the saliva chance to neutralize that and bring the pH level in the mouth back up to a safe level. So if you have it as part of a mealtime, it's all done in one go. So we're talking about safe snacking in between meals. So milk and water between meals is the best thing to drink. If we're talking about snacking, we want to stick to things like rice cakes, breadsticks, a piece of toast even, like I say, some vegetable crudities, nuts and seeds, cheese, that kind of thing, and avoid the kind of biscuity fruit kind of things. I mean, you know, obviously fruit is very important in our diet, but try and have it, you know, after your meal time.
It's not something that you maybe want to graze on, you know, having, you know, a bowl of grapes over the course of a few hours. That's maybe not the best thing to do.
No, the problem is, you know, it takes an hour for the saliva to neutralize that acid that's produced that is going to, you know, potentially damage our teeth. So each time you have something that contains sugar, that hour starts. So if you had a grape now, Sophie, and while we were talking, in 5 minutes time you had another grape, that hour is going to start again when you have the second grape, and again when you have the third grape. So you're better to eat all your grapes all in one go and then forget about it. So
and we're going to get into a little bit more tips you can take on board to cut down on your sugars and moves towards sugar-free alternatives in the next episode we're going to cover. So we won't get into that too much, but it is always, I think, having worth having a look at your labels and going, oh, actually, something that actually I noticed when I went for a Diet Coke, not a full fat Coke, a Diet Coke, but it's like per 100 milliliters, this much. And then you look at the can and it's like, well, there's no way that's only 100 milliliters. It's 330 off the top of my head. Yeah. So you've got to sort of do a little bit of mental maths and go, oh, actually, there's 30 grams of sugar in that. Maybe leave that one on the shelf and sort of put a bit more thought into your snacking and your drinking habits to see where it's...
The traffic light system that is used is very good. However, often in very, very small letters, it'll go per quarter pack, and you've just wolfed down 3/4 of it and you think, oh, was I not supposed to have that much? So it is important to clarify within that traffic light system, if it's like a green or an amber on the sugars, brilliant, but just check how much of the packet they are talking about. Because it could, you know, push it up and over your sort of daily allowance. But it's about just being aware and reading labels and understanding, you know, where our sugar is coming from.
So we'll get into all of that in the next episode. We'll leave it here for now. We've covered about free sugars and something new to me. Don't be fooled. Free sugar and sugar-free couldn't be more different. Free sugar means the stuff that's put in, and sugar-free means it doesn't have anything put in. We've went over what the impact of free sugars are, how much free sugar you should be, I won't say aiming to have, but aiming to not go over that threshold, and where you're more likely to find it. Your yogurts, your drinks, your sweets, your biscuits, your cereal, some cereal. So then, next time we're going to go into how we can go ahead and start to cut that out and make some positive changes for our oral health and our general health, really. And so, Karen, thank you very, very much for sparing some time to sit and talk to me about sugar.
Thank you very much, Sophie. It's nice to talk to you again.
Definitely. And we'll see you in a bit.
Thank you.